So hello everyone, welcome to my review of My Hero Academia episode 15 season 3, episode 53 together. Yeah, battle royale, right? It's like, okay, they're gonna go out there, they're gonna fight people, right? And I was thinking like frenemies. The only thing I was thinking about when I was watching the episodes, like, here, this new character, this new guy, he's actually stronger than this guy. And then they're like, yeah, there's new friends. Like, the whole episode pretty much setting up these like new other, heroes, right, from other schools, and they're all like friendly with them. They're like, nice to meet you, yeah, I love your power. And then as soon as it's like, I will kill you now. And the next scene, yeah, like, it's very much the frenemy. These are my new 10 new best friends. They're gonna try to kill me in 10 minutes now. Nice, yeah. It's a lot of that. But that's really fun. It's of course they're setting up this specific guy that's being the strongest, right? Because he could join their school, but he was like, no, I want to go to another school for some reason. And basically, the other schools are, like they're the second best, third best, they're pretty much the other, top 5 schools, right? So they're not at their level, but they have some really good students. I also would imagine, this is not actually if I have, but I would imagine that some people just wouldn't want to move also, like, it's kind of like going to college, and sure, most of the time you want to go to the famous college, you want to go to Harvard or whatever, but it could be like, oh, I have a sick mother, whatever, right, so I'm gonna stay here at, the West Coast, and I'm gonna go to Caltech instead, or whatever, like, yes, I mean, like, and so on, based more on, like, because of this thing, that feels like some students should be like that, right, they actually, no, I don't want to leave, Hokkaido, I want to stay up here because of my family situation and that, but I could join the other schools. So that's also something which I don't think they're going to get into that much, but I think they're just going to have random good students on the schools, right? It's going to be like that, because why not? But I think that's fine. But I think it makes sense that the other schools will have a few people that are really, really strong, right? Based on different kind of situations. It could be everybody that's been here now and actually learn to master the quirk in new ways, awaken the quirk, so to speak. Or, that they actually just couldn't leave and go to that school. Or they actually were sick on the exam days. Like, that's something with the whole My Hero Academia, the actual academia. Do they only have one test? They have like one test, and like people that can be recommended because they're, oh, this is another result or something. But otherwise, it's like, if you miss that day, are you screwed then? How many days do you have? How many tests can you do? Can you redo the test? Like, yeah, whatever. That's not the point of the episode, but still though, I think the general premise makes sense to me. That they will have like a few those 4 people there. Obviously, people shown in the opening are clearly foreshadowed to be, the prominent enemies, right, or frenemies. Yeah, so that's pretty clear. And of course, other people, of course. So setting up massive battle royale, and I can't stop thinking about how awesome be a game. So more on that later. But first of all, what I actually like the most is Emmy. Her name is Emmy, right? Yeah, Emmy Fukada. I forgot the name of the church. I love the thing. I love the love. Aizawa Sensei's finding love. But I love the thing because she's the Joker, right? And I mean, she has a joking power, but she is the Joker, and he is clearly Batman. I mean, Aizawa Sensei is very similar to Batman. He fights at night. He's always tired because he can't sleep. He's always sitting on like this, like a gargoyle, sitting up on let's call it the rooftops, looking down at criminals, jumping down, shooting stuff at them, like that, kind of entangle them up, right, and leave it to the cops to speak. He's very similar to Batman, right, in a lot of like his aspects. And she is clearly, literally the Joker. Has the joking quirk power that makes you laugh, and then you can't fight her because you're laughing too much. And she's all about, I will make you laugh one day, honey. He's like, I don't like you. You love me, yeah. She's like, I will make you laugh. And that is so typical, this half the Joker's character is about making Batman laugh. Right? There's a very good scene there in the classic task, so him finally makes it do, and Batman has like massive laughter. And the Joker's like, no, it's too scary. And the Joker's like, no, that's all freak laughter. But yeah, it's a lot like that with the Joker. He wants to make Batman laugh. In my mind, it has to be on purpose reference to Batman and the Joker. But she has the joking quirk, and again, I thought it's similar to Batman in a lot of aspects, and it has to be like that. It has to be an obvious reference to Batman and the Joker. But anyway, I think it's kind of funny generally. I loved in the opening, as I said last week, I'm trying to spoil it, but I loved in the opening last week when she's like waving, it's like, I like that. They put it in there in the corner of the opening, and she's like always flirting with him. And here, of course, Ashido Shan, and she's like, oh, Sensei's love girlfriend. It's like, that's awesome. And it's tries to be like, no, she's not my girlfriend. And she's like, oh, we used to live together. No, we didn't. I went, okay, we lived next door, but pretty much together. It's like, no, we didn't. It's like, keeps inserting it that she's his girlfriend, or, you know, let's get married and so on. And it feels really fun because it's like a mix of, she's doing it to make him laugh, to try to, you know, get him, on the same time, or she actually does really like him. And I think it's both, right? So she both likes him and she wants to make him laugh. So it's clearly like a double purpose for her there. That being said, too, I think one of the best scenes, otherwise, was of course Ulrika moment. When it's just like, it's Koi, it's clearly Koi. I see this, like, you're clearly in love. Oh, is it me, the raccoon? Maybe Ida. It's me, you're right. It's like, no, it's not. And she flies away. That was so beautiful. She flies away, right? And she's upside down, looking down into, the yard or whatever, right? And Deku's at the train, he's like, I hate my hero. It's like, Deku, I'm in the ride. Or is it good? It's good. Yeah, he's so cute. It's like bubbles around upside down. It's like, yay! Oh my man! Like that was romantic. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was a really, really nice scene. I love that. But yeah, it's. I mean, I like that Ashido-san is one knows that it's Deku pretty much. As with Navigator, it's like, oh, he's like, it's like, oh, you like him, obviously. It's I like that a lot in My Hero Academia because, I mean, yes, he's the main character, but it's kind of clear he has the most, you know, prominent career, mainly. Like, Todoroki is the, you know, and Bakugo. Bakugo was just crazy, no one even likes him, Todoroki just kind of, you know, respects him, but everyone else kind of like, oh, he's scared of me. Todoroki, obviously, Yasuri likes Todoroki, that's been pointed out several times. Not just when they were this tag team, but during the room episode, she was like, oh, Todoroki's room? I want to see it. The prettiest boy, the delicious. But yeah, she was very into getting the room. Right? Also, he usually wants to see his room as well, but she was very like, wow, I want to see how he lives. Like, I want to look at his stuff. Yeah, so obviously interested there. But otherwise, well, similar for those people though as well, though, right? They are kind of obviously like the strongest, the most prominent member of the class. Where like Zero, Minetta, and so on is kind of it's like they have this random quirk power that no one really cares about, right? So right away there, I think it's really good that the other characters like, oh, obviously you like that guy because he has really good quirk. That's a big thing, right? I mean, there are, you know, teenagers. It's gonna be like you're gonna fall for the guy primarily that is, you know, the prettiest guy, you know, the richest guy, strongest guy, whatever. You're gonna fall for the prominent feature people has, right? And if they have more of that, it's even better. So if in this world we have a lot of quirks, obviously people can be like, well, that quirk's really powerful, he's gonna become rich and famous and so on, yeah, I wanna marry that guy. There's like an automatic, you know, effect, right? So that's one thing. And obviously spending a lot of time with, as Asidu-san chess, with just Deku and Ida, right? So she's like, oh, it's Deku, obviously. It's like, oh yeah, it's him. Maybe Ida, but no. She's like, nah, I know it's him. It's him, right? It's like, oh no, it's not him. How could it be him? It's like, yeah, I wonder why. Spend a lot of time with him. And he's clearly, like, you know, skyrocketing in popularity generally among, you know, other people and so on. Yeah, I think it's him. So that was a really nice scene. But I really think it's good. And as I mentioned again, also with Naval Laser, that is good that all the characters are aware of it. Like, they aren't like, you know, really stupid. Like, and they're just like, oh, she's in love with so who could it be? Like, that is a very common trope, right? In many. Well, I guess the most common trope is that everyone knows that she likes himself. That's probably the most common trope. That's kind of how it's developing into, unfortunately, that, you know, he's not going to be aware of it, but everyone else is going to be like, oh, he's clearly in love with him, and she's mentioned it to me, so everyone knows it, and he just can't say it, and he knows, he doesn't know it. How can he not know it? That's how it might turn into. But otherwise, another issue I think generally is that someone is like, oh, you're in love with someone, and, you know, and they're kind of like, oh, who's it, so on, and they can't figure it out, and then they get like misunderstandings, which sometimes are really fun, like in gamers. But most of the time, especially I think in like American TV shows, in commentary, it might be really funny, but also it's like how can't they figure it out? It's her or him. Like, it's obviously who this person is interested with. If you follow the narrative of the story, obviously from our perspective, but also mainly like, aren't they always together and so on? So I really like here, Ashido's like, well, you always with those two guys. It's clearly one of those guys that you're interested in. You also want to spend time with them, and this guy is clearly a more main character than that guy. So yeah, it's him, right? And then how she knows sorts of way to that. That's a great scene. But yeah, anyway, last part was promotion. Man, it would be a good game. Battle Royale would be a great game. I was like, man, Fortnite, you know, PUBG and so on. And of course, I played a little Battle Royale back in my days, the actual Battle Royale game. And I'm thinking, like, man, this would be an awesome game. I don't want to have, you know, the brawler game, kind of like the 1v1 game, or the tag team game, something like Marvel's Capcom, that where you fight with, you know, superpower characters. I mean, I do love Marvel's Capcom. Don't get me wrong, you know, I'm a big fan of Marvel's Capcom. I played that game competitively, the second game, a lot, and I love that game. But well, not the fourth game, but like for it, or yeah, Infinite's fourth. But anyway, for this, it's a fighting game. It's a fighting game. But then there are those like 3D, you know, freedom fighting games, like Seniors when you fight around and stuff like that. But actually, yeah, like really awesome having like an anime or just comic book, but generally, yeah, anime fighting, sorry, not fighting, battle royale game, right? We actually play against 99 other players, and it isn't like, you know, like a fighting game you play like one player to speed. That's on the genre, yeah. Actual battle royale, you only have one life, enter this island, fight them, or this like this facility have there, yeah, fight each other, and you leave, and you just play a new game, right? That would be freaking awesome, yeah. I remember I played and I actually did my own games back in the days, right? I mean, mod games. Today I used to make games for living, but I used to do a lot of mod games, right? And I was involved in that, like Warcraft 3 and so on. But there was a lot of those hero brawler games where you play, especially the anime-based one, where you play like Naruto and so on. And they were really funny. But I mean, for that technology, right? You had like 4 abilities, and you also play maybe like at top, maybe like 10 people or so. Usually with respawn, but some of them were like Battle Royale. There was one game that actually was Battle Royale, was really good back in the days. But that would be awesome today with today's technology, having like at least 100 players actually playing, you know, 100 different anime characters and actually fighting with different powers. You only again hold like one life. You can find different weapons like gear, like my gear was perfect. Yeah, you can go around here. You can find the different weapons they have from the support team, right, and so on. It'd be awesome. Yeah, and you might even more have it as first person and actually go around, you know, like more like Overwatch. You just shoot with different powers and so on. Why don't they make a first person shooter game in Blizzard? I know a lot of people that work in Blizzard. I should sell it. Like, why don't they make the game? Yeah, something like that, you know. But even more so, of course. Overwatch would be awesome, and they probably will have it eventually. But I mean, even more so. I mean, even more grander, right? Mainly on power level, not the characters or graphics. I mean, more on power level. That would be a cool game as well. But I mean, even more. Like, you know, I wanna fly around this and so on. That would be really awesome, yeah. And with the building Fortnite, because I like Fortnite a lot, mainly because I like building stuff. That's why I like it a lot more. I also like the cartoon color much more than PvP, so, but yeah, that would be awesome. So anyway, I hope you like the review, and I hope you wanna make that game. I wanna play one day, Battle Royale anime fighting game. Make it happen. See you guys. We will watch Sunahara soon, yeah. So have a great day. Stay tuned. Please like the program, and I'll see you guys with that soon.